Hello, welcome back to another episode of the LAC podcast, and you heard me right. We have officially changed our name to LAC, which stands for Landscape Architecture Collective. I am your host, Charis. Today we have us, Jia Yin. So Jia Yin, please share a little bit about yourself, and specifically for this episode, where did you go for exchange, the country and the university?
Hi everyone, I'm Jia Yin and I went to Australia for exchange, specifically the city of Sydney, and the uni I went to University of New South Wales.
So for our bachelor's program, Jia Yin together with Julia, another of our batchmates, both of them are the first batch of students who went on exchange last semester. We have students going for exchange in this coming semester, but since Jia Yin is back, let's ask her some questions about her experience and maybe you can learn something from her. So let's dive into the questions. Maybe let's start with the first basic questions, and why did you go for exchange in Australia? Because maybe for me, I have friends who went to France, Switzerland, some of them went to Asia, and then they went to these places for like the culture or the language and then the people. So maybe you can share with us why do you choose Australia? What's the attractive point?
So because my parents were kind of worried about my safety for US and Canada, like general safety, because it's quite far away from Singapore. That's why I had like Australia in my choices, and also because I went there when I was a kid and like I love it there a lot. Excuse me.
So like the beaches, is it? Are the beaches
Yeah, like all
Does
the
Sydney
scenery.
have beaches?
Yeah,
right?
It's bounded by beaches, very beautiful beaches.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I want to experience the Western culture because my hometown is actually in China, so I go there like every year. So I want to try something different, and so I applied for Australia.
Okay, Australia sounds very fun also. What about the university? So why University of New South Wales?
Oh, okay. So we're offered two schools for Australia. One is in Melbourne and one is in Sydney. So I chose Sydney because the UNSW because the information given on their school website was very clear and very accessible, easily accessible. So I find that I can like understand their like structure and like the modules they offer very easily, and so like that's a plus point.
So we're basing off like the user interface of the website.
Kind of. Because when I was trying to search for China's university and barely anything came out.
I think even for me, right, even if I go for like China universities, then I will have to read it in Chinese.
Yeah.
Then you will start to panic if your studio's also in Chinese. Okay, if you're good in Mandarin, then good for you.
Yeah. Then like also because I've searched for the school term and like I really like UNSW school term. It's actually UNSW actually is trimester, so there's like three sems.
So is it shorter, like for us?
Yeah, it is shorter. That's why I started in September and ended in like around November, mid-November.
That's fun. That's a good point.
Yes.
Then you can go travel around.
Yeah, that's why I ended like I started later than NUS students and also ended earlier than them.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so I get to travel a lot.
Yeah, but do you travel like outside of Sydney?
Yeah, I went to Melbourne during the school break, and like I went there for around 1 week. And it was like very rewarding because I went to so many places. And like also other than Melbourne, I also went somewhere like around Sydney, like to places like Kiama, because they have like train to go to like far away from Sydney. So yeah, I went to a lot
away
of
from the city life, is it? Okay, that's fun. So just nice we mentioned about like the user interface of the website, right? Maybe you can ask, I want to ask about like how's the preparation like for exchange life? So it's like maybe like the formal stuff. So how was module mapping for you? And do you need to like submit any formal documents like visa or anything? Do you remember?
Of course, that was honestly speaking, that was quite torturous.
Okay.
But then for module mapping, because like Irvin gave me a lot of assurance actually. Like I had faith that he will like try his best to send us off to like to see the outside world. So like I did not have a lot of worry about module mapping. And also like the modules offered in UNSW is actually quite cool. Like they have, I took one module, it's actually exhibition design.
Wow.
So we design like, it's like a small studio but it's like designing exhibition spaces.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's quite cool. And then they also have like say like very basic stuff, which
what about
I think
any ecology mod?
yeah they had.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they have
Did you
a lot.
take more mods in like architecture, landscape architecture, or do you like venture out into like geography or like other schools, other faculties?
I
module?
took the built environment module, so it's like
Okay.
modules that's catered to like both architecture, interior design, and also landscape architecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What about like, do you need any formal documents? Cause my friend who's going to France, I think she has to send in her visa, and then she was like panicking before she flew over.
Yeah, that one there's actually quite a lot involved. So we
Oh.
have like certificate of enrollment, and like we have to buy some insurance before we even like apply for visa or something. I can't really remember the details, but there was quite a lot of forms to submit.
Was it like a mad rush for you?
Yeah, honestly it is. Cause like at that point of time, I think some like Australia just opened or something. So like a lot of people were applying for visa for Australia.
Oh.
So like, oh my god.
So
it
you have to
was-
go down to Singapore, the embassy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
long
like,
queues.
Long
Long
queues.
queues.
Like they say like I have to finish it, the biometric registration within 15 days. But the shortest queue time was 1 month. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
So if you have to go exchange, you better prepare ahead of time.
Yes, as early as possible. And also, oh my gosh, like for Muslim students, or is it Malay students, they have to be careful because like their name, right, surname, if it's like short form BTE, right, because some international they don't recognize, so they have to spell it out.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it depends on country also.
Okay. Maybe that's for our viewers to take note of. Then maybe like, what about your basic necessities? Like, I was thinking, because I sent you off, right?
Yeah.
And your luggage was like just nice. But then like, so do you bring a lot of basic necessities, or do you go over then you start buying?
Actually,
So are you more of like a spontaneous kind of person, or like a planner? So you make sure you have everything, and you bring your whole house over.
no. Actually, I'm quite spontaneous because that's because I have family friends in Sydney
okay,
already.
that's
Why
nice.
I'm like, if I don't have anything, actually I can just ask them also. But I brought medicines along because I was scared that like maybe it's a bit hard to get
Yeah,
there.
true.
But actually it's not loud. Can get it very
Only-
easily.
What about like those Chinese medicine? I don't know.
Chinese medicine, cause excuse me,
Like
'cause
those.
Australia border is quite strict, so
Oh,
you have to
yeah.
check like the list of items that's
Okay,
allowed
true,
and
true,
those
true.
that's not allowed. Then bring accordingly lah.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
So anything you have to take note before you fly off?
Oh.
Airplane tickets have to buy as early as possible,
yeah,
right?
cause right, like when I came back,
Mm-hmm.
the tickets was okay. When I went there, it was 500 for one trip, but when I came back, it was like 1,400
For just the one
trip.
way.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my God,
crazy. So
expensive.
like, should buy tickets early.
Okay.
And also, okay, some things that you might want to bring: a small rice cooker because it's a bit hard to get over there.
Is it okay to bring over? Like small one?
Yeah,
ah?
can.
Okay.
Yeah, cause like those that is usually quite big for families and those kind. Yeah, so you might wanna
Especially
bring-
Asians, we need rice.
Yeah, especially if you love to eat rice and you can't survive without
True,
rice.
true.
And also chopsticks. But that was because right, like the supermarket they sell chopsticks in bundles. Then we didn't want to
Oh.
like buy so many, right? So
But is the disposable ones or?
reusable.
Okay,
Because
still a
like
lot.
one person, so
Yeah,
we
still a
don't want
lot.
to buy like a whole bundle. So like if you want to bring, you can bring.
Okay. Question. So after the plane has landed, how do you feel? Do you remember
Wow.
that first feeling when you touched down?
It felt surreal. Like I can't believe that I'm actually there. Cause like I don't know. I was filled with excitement and I was a little bit nervous also because the weather there was actually much colder than I expected. So yeah, I was freezing on the first day as I remember.
So did you bring a lot of clothes over?
Actually,
Or
I
you-
did. I brought like heat tech clothes and stuff,
Ah, okay.
and they all came to use like
Ah,
pretty
nice,
much
nice.
most of the time. So that was great.
But do you go around shopping
Of
Australia?
course, Australia.
Isn't the thrift shops?
Yeah, the thrift shops are so good. So like, the first day I already went to the thrift shop and like I got like this really nice jacket at a very cheap price.
Oh, I
And-
remember you shared like there's a bag, right? that you
Yeah,
got.
yeah. Like also, their thrift shop, the items are very clean and very new. So I think like it's actually very nice to shop at their thrift shops.
Okay. So maybe now we'll talk about like experiences, right?
Okay.
How was the Australian education system and like NUS? How's it different? Did you have any like culture shock when you met your batchmates there?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first culture shock was that like my class, the age group is very diverse. Like the age of people is very diverse. So some of my classmates, their father is like
Wow.
father of 3.
Oh
So
my
when
God,
I was
okay.
actually quite shocked. I thought he's the professor, but then after that I realized,
Really?
oh, that's my classmate.
Okay.
And it's not just one; it's like
Mm.
quite many of them, and some of them is like come to study after they get married or like have a job already. So yeah, that was my first culture shock, because in Singapore, like most of our classmates are around our age.
Mm.
So yeah, and especially father coming back to study
Wow.
uni, that's quite
That's admirable.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like he happened to be in the same group as me, so like we
Mm.
were talking about it, and then like they were all saying like, oh, age shouldn't like define like whether you
Yes.
want to go back
Lifelong
to study.
learning.
Yeah, exactly. I find that that's very prominent in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And
many
also,
students in one studio group?
actually it's around the same as our current studio. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
probably 30 or
30
30 plus. But there's around half of them are online. So yeah, we didn't get to see some of them.
Oh, because they're not in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh. Then how were your classmates like? Were they like very direct with their feedbacks? Or were they like, oh, it's okay? Like, I understand you're like an exchange student. Then they try to like give in a little bit.
I find that it depends on the people really.
Mm.
Like even in Singapore, it also depends on people.
Okay.
They're generally very nice though, especially my group. I love my group. They were so united and very welcoming.
Mm.
Honestly, everyone is very welcoming for me lah.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
They
Okay.
were so nice. I love them.
What about your student life there? Was there like any CCA you joined?
Oh,
I saw a lot of like fairs, right?
yeah, that's one thing I really love about
Mm.
UNSW. So like every week, every
Mm.
Wednesday, honestly, actually maybe some days, other days also, but every week they will have some fairs or like free food truck coming in.
Free?
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah, they'll have
Okay.
like student events.
Mm.
So like sometimes you get like free
Oh, that's so
kimchi
good.
pancake.
Wow.
Yeah, like they have stuff like international student
Yeah,
fair.
that's so inclusive.
Yeah, and also they have a stress-free week where they bring in alpacas for us to pet.
Wow.
Yeah, so that like to distress
Oh,
ourselves. And then they
okay.
also have like free massages and like beading classes, or like can handwrite letters or just paint in the field. And like cause the weather there is very nice, so it's very nice to like go under the sun and just enjoy all these activities.
Sunbathing also sounds
Yeah,
good.
and like a lot of free food, which I love. I will always go down.
Was there
for
Singaporean
food.
food? Cause you say kimchi pancake, maybe was there Singaporean food?
I think there's like curry chicken noodles or something like that.
Okay, maybe the Maggi one.
Yeah.
Or maybe was there like a very significant Singaporean cluster?
There is. Actually, there's a lot of Singaporeans over there.
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
I run into so many Singaporeans. Sometimes when you just go around, you hear the accent, you know.
Yeah,
You know who's
you know that's your
Singaporean,
homie. Okay.
And like there's a Singapore club,
Mm.
but I didn't join because you need to pay $5 to
Oh. but that's nice. But you had like a lot of time with your roommate, right? Like they're Singaporeans.
Yeah.
also. Are
Actually,
they?
no. Only one of them is fellow NUS student.
Wait, so the rest were like other unis? Or-
Yeah, some of them are from other unis.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but we all stay on campus.
Mm.
Yeah, and
You
that's
cook a
very
lot, right?
convenient. Yeah, we cook a lot.
Expensive to eat outside.
Yeah, like I would say like a meal is around 20 to 30. Yeah, that's like the average meal. So like when I come back to Singapore, I'm like cheap.
Oh, that's true. What about bubble tea price?
Oh,
Do you
bubble
remember?
tea? Of course. I tell you. Okay, Gongcha, right? Am I supposed to say the name? Okay, the most basic green milk tea is $6.80.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
like
most
wow,
basic,
that
like
is
medium size
expensive.
some more. Yeah.
I think you can go there and like you'll quit your addiction. Because you see like the price and then you're like, wow.
Yeah,
your
like
pocket.
like other brands is like easily like $8, $9, $10.
Oh,
So it's
is it
like,
nice? Is there a difference? Was there like a taste difference?
Honestly, I don't think so. It's pretty much similar.
Okay, at least okay lah. If like you really really need it, then a taste
Yeah.
of home or something.
If you
can
can't
get
take it, then you get it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it seems like Australia really left a good impression for you based on what you said. Then maybe like, is there like one memory that you want to share with everyone? Like, what's the best experience you have? I know like you have a lot of experience. But what's like one thing when you come back to Singapore and you will tell everyone about? Like just one thing.
Honestly, there's so many. Like I really can't choose one. Let me think of one. Maybe I'll say whale watching, cause that time, right, like we went to this place and then we didn't even know we can see whales over there, but we just happened to chance upon like whales, like a mama whale bring her baby up for a swim, and like that moment was so phenomenal because number one, we didn't expect it, so it came like even better. And then number two, like you can hear them like their screech, so it's like very like phenomenal, I guess, because the view is so nice. Like the sea is like so blue, the sky is so blue.
Is it very accessible for you? Like just to go out to the beach and then you see the whales, or it has to be a specific timing, or like
I didn't plan any of that, and I happened to see.
Wow.
So I guess it is.
Whales, right? Not dolphins, right? Whales.
I saw both though,
okay.
which is very lucky of me. So, and I think meeting all these animals are like a very special moment for me.
Especially for us, like we cannot see this so
we
often.
can't see this in Singapore.
And natural, it's like they're in their natural habitat, right?
Yeah, and it's like unplanned.
Wait, isn't it just at the beach, or you have to like take a boat out?
No, I saw it from the cliff. Like I was just walking along this track, and then I look out there, and then whoa, they're like, whoo,
wow, I think must get your phone ready. Like,
yeah,
at all
I
times.
was like, we were all like, oh my god, there's a whale. Then we all ran there and stuff.
What time was it? Was there a lot of people at the beach?
No, because it was like around morning, afternoon that time. There's a lot of people walking past, but like at that point of time, there wasn't much people.
Were y'all only like the group that's like cheering and all those, and the other Australians be like, we see this every day, every month?
No. They also stopped to watch. I guess because like the scene is just so pretty and like enchanting.
Okay, maybe like let's just give like maybe 2 more examples, 2 more good experiences.
Okay, very good.
Oh, you can share as many as you want.
I have so many. I don't know how to choose. Okay, so
second
another
best
one is waking up to watch sunset. No.
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Wait, are you like a normally are you like a morning person? If not, like waking up to watch sunset is like a very big deal. Okay, I wouldn't say a very big deal lah, but like, whoa, you actually do it.
Honestly, I'm not really a morning person.
Okay, so that must be like quite a big deal.
Yeah.
Like to wake up.
Okay, so my friend brought me to watch sunrise for the first time, because he said like in Australia, well, how can you miss a sunrise when the sun's like the sky is so clear every day and it's so pretty? So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Then I said, okay, if you take me by car, then I'll go. So he really did. So like when we went there, oh my goodness, like the streaks of pink and purple and everything, it's really so pretty. And like after I watched like the sun rise from the horizon, I feel so energized for the whole day. And like I don't know. So after that time, right, I go to watch sunrise every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Wow, that's commitment also.
4 a.m. I wake up 4 a.m. to watch sunrise.
By yourself?
Sometimes by myself.
Is it safe? Like 4 a.m. the sky is still quite dark, right? Like,
yeah, it's completely dark. Because I want to watch Breaking Dawn, so I wake up very early.
But is it safe for like a female to like just start walking on the street?
You need to be careful. So what I always do is I will send my tele location to my friends in Singapore. Because of the time difference, so they are mostly awake. Then I'll send my location to them. And if I feel unsafe, I will just like tell all of them to watch out for me.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, 4 a.m. there's not a lot of people on the street, so it
Is that
depends
better
on
or
whether
is that-
you are scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel scared. Okay, only one time I felt scared, but that was because there was fog and I couldn't see things properly. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds. At least people can still try to venture out at that time.
Yeah, but it's very rewarding watching sunrise. So I'll recommend.
So you pack your own food and then you just sit and camp there.
Yeah.
And then you watch.
And then like, phew.
Wait, but you sound like you have a lot of time, is it? Is it like it's not every day, right? It's like once a week.
No, not every day.
So it's like weekends.
Yeah, Saturdays mostly.
Well, how was studio like the work?
Studio.
Is it the same like photoshopping? So we usually start with like group work, and then after that we for analysis, then we break out into like individual.
That's the difference between like Australian studio and UNSW student here. Like we don't have specifically like a stage of site analysis. I feel like we just pretty much just went into design quite early on. Yeah, and then after that we'll analyze like how our design like fit into the site and like the site stuff.
So instead of like analyze then design, yours is design then try to tweak it to analyze.
I feel like we still have analysis, but it's like a smaller part, or like it was quite brief.
So more about like the creative design, like you just blow it up first.
So I'm not sure whether it applies to all semesters or the particular studio I went to.
Makes sense. But does it change? Have you heard from your friends like so throughout these 3 semesters, like all 3 different sites?
yeah, their sites always change. I mean, Australia is so big, so they have a lot of stuff to work on. Yeah, for my semester, we worked on a golf course and like how to turn it like into like to be able to be used by the public also, so that more people can use it. And I find that quite cool, and that is really quite a challenging question that I ask myself also, like how to make golf course more useful, how to open it up to public also. And yeah, so like we had quite a lot of fun in figuring that out. And also, right, like one thing I find that is different is that their thinking, like some of them is a bit different. That's because like the context is different. So for example, I asked them, oh, what do you think about reducing car parks and like having a car light city? Then they were saying like, oh, but I think cars are essential over here, which I agree on, because like Australia is so big, we need to travel with car.
True.
So like that put me in like to more thinking, because in Singapore we are like used to like car light city or like trying to reduce traffic and cars and everything. So yeah, I was like
So it's good at like if you go exchange, because it's different countries, then there's different contexts.
Yeah, you get to like consider more things. And also over there, like they are very like they place a lot of importance on their Aboriginal culture.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yeah, like for the start of the class, like they will always go like like say something to like pay respect or like to acknowledge the Aboriginal people and the Aboriginal culture, which I find that very different from here, because here is pretty like mixed.
Mixed. And we're like quite, I didn't expect that also. That's something new I learned about.
That's very new. I was quite wow.
But was it fun for you? Like it's a new
very
experience,
fun.
right?
Yeah, I find it like it's very beneficial for me to like go experience different culture and like different ways of thinking. It broadens my perspectives. So it was great, honestly.
Do you think you can bring that back into like Singapore's context? A bit. We can. Okay, but we do have like the Orang Labuts.
Yeah, we do. I think we can like apply
something historical if we are gonna do like a historical project.
Yeah, and also like they have like very unique how to say landscape or like plantings and stuff. So like we'll always try to bring that back to the land, to like the Australian land, and like that's kind of like we can apply that to Singapore, like all the original, what's that called, like the
native plants.
Yeah, the native plants, the native species cannot come back. And that kind of thing.
Okay, that's something good to hear about. At least maybe we can learn from them also. But I think Singapore has our own constraints, like the car lighting, our
like
context.
the weather also. Because like over there, there's 4 seasons, so we can think like, oh, which season is gonna like what color or that kind of thing. Like, and like, oh, because it's gonna be so cold and like the kind of thing.
But I remember like we might sort of envy their 4 seasons, but they also envy our like tropical, like
definitely.
having all so green and all those.
Because our plants can grow like so fast throughout the year, so like that's like what they envy on. Oh, and then another thing is about water. Because over here we always think like, okay, if we integrate ABC water feature, we can like save on water and everything. But that might not apply over there, because some of them, like some of the places over there might not be as rainy or like don't have much water. Even if you have ABC water feature, it doesn't make a difference. That kind of thing.
So it's like less emphasis on water. But do they have like a water shortage or anything? Like to us, water is so important. Like especially Singapore, right? Like there's a lot of water shortage and like water is so precious to us. But then for them, do they have that same mindset?
I think it depends on the place.
Different states.
Yeah, different states, and also I guess different seasons. Also, like some fire. You know, the forest fire.
They have a lot of forest fires.
That's one thing they have to consider about also in like their design and everything. And okay, when I went there, like, cause it's El Nina, so there's like a lot of rain. So some of the places are flooded, and like they have a lot of flooding issues, not just in Sydney but Melbourne also. That's why my mom kept calling me and be like, Zhang, is it flooding over there? Are you okay? Like, do you have to travel in boat? It's quite funny.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like I think for Singapore's context, we always take like these natural disasters as something that we have never like at most maybe like the Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park, that one like gets flooded. Then we don't really think about floods or like earthquakes or anything. So exchange really like broaden your mindset a lot, right? Like your knowledge also, so that you can prepare. And maybe like you can go Australia and work since you have like a bit of knowledge.
Yeah, I do consider that actually.
I mean, you don't have to come back to Singapore and like be fixed here. At least you have some experience over there.
Oh, another thing which I find like a bit different from Singapore is that they have a lot of nature reserves. I think Australia is quite known for their nature reserves. So like for example, Blue Mountains is 16 times the size of Singapore. So maybe they don't have to like consider like bring nature like put into the city because like people will go like to the nature itself like when it's time like when
was
they
there
want
like a very big difference between green and grey?
I feel that not really because Sydney is such an urban city. They also like have a lot of parks in their city centre. So like every neighbourhood will have some park. Yeah. Oh, but something funny is that like one grass field can be considered as a park.
Oh, so the definition of parks is different, is it?
Yeah, it's a bit different from here. Because
Okay.
here we'll have like some facilities like playgrounds and stuff, but they're not necessarily.
How big is their parks? Is it
There's a lot.
very accessible also, like everywhere in the city or
Yeah,
somewhere
I would
like
say
us,
it's
like if you
accessible.
come out from your HDB then you see like a park already.
Yeah, I
How's
would
it
say
like?
it's quite accessible because like each neighborhood there's like at least one. Yeah. But I feel like their parks is more dedicated for like dog owners. Because like the empty fields and they can go run.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, maybe like share one last experience that we really will tell everyone about. So we have 1, 2, and then the whale one, then the sunset. Any last experience?
Sunrise, you mean?
Oh, sunrise. Yeah, we keep saying sunset
I
because
know.
we're not morning people.
Oh, I know already. It's like before I leave, my friends they cook dinner for me.
Oh.
And I felt that like was so homey and like so cute and that's so nice of them. Like they're locals and then like they put out a feast for me like to say goodbye to me.
Oh, that sounds so good. Maybe so you met like a new group of friends. Right?
Yeah, I made a lot of friends
Yeah,
there.
I think that's exchange.
that's why
like-
it makes me feel like I want to return there
Okay.
because my friends.
Any advice? Maybe like we can start closing. And then like any advice you will have for students who wants to go exchange?
Advice, I'll say remember to check the credibility of your Airbnb or like your rental place.
Okay.
Because right, one of the architecture student, after he reached Sydney, he realized he couldn't contact his Airbnb host.
Oh.
So he actually paid for like 3-4 months of rental for the Airbnb. But the owner ghosted him lah, so he had to find on the spot, which is quite scary.
Especially when you go exchange, you won't be staying in a hotel, right?
Yeah, so
If the school provides, it'll be good lah. But
yeah, but that depends
Airbnb.
whether the school provides.
yeah, I think we will always like neglect this part.
Yeah.
So that's a good advice.
Yeah. Also check the weather forecast because like in Singapore we don't really have that habit since every day is like about the same. But over there, wow, the temperature change is quite drastic. And when they say like strong winds, really strong wind, it's like 45 km per hour. You cannot walk inside. Like
okay.
you will feel like you're gonna fly away. That
Okay.
kind. Yeah.
Okay.
So check the weather forecast.
Thank you so much, Jia Yin, for participating in this episode. So I really learned a lot from your sharing, and I hope those who are going for exchange, maybe landscape or not, or maybe like not in Australia or somewhere else, I hope you'll be able to learn something from our episode. And if you like this video, do give us a thumbs up, and you can consider sharing or subscribing to our channel. But if you made it this far, so thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.